Hey, thanks so much for checking out the channel. My name is Agabus, and I don't make the news, I just read it. So for today, we're going to read through a CNBC article regarding Americans living paycheck to paycheck. The title is 61% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. Inflation is still squeezing budgets. If you haven't seen the news, the U.S. population has just reached $1 trillion in credit card debt the other week. So living paycheck to paycheck, I don't think many people are, because most of them sound like they're probably going into debt. But let's take a look and see what this article has to say. The number of Americans who say they are stretched thin has remained stubbornly high, according to several reports. And the Federal Reserve Chair, Jerome Powell, says there's probably going to be even more interest rate increases yet to come. The battle against inflation is not yet over. As of July, again, 61% of adults still say they're living paycheck to paycheck, and this is up from last year of 59%. Inflation remains too high. In recent remarks, Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell said inflation remains too high, despite the positive indicators, and warns of more rate hikes still around the corner. Recently, the central bank has raised rates 11 times since the bottom at 0%, and currently it's in the range of 5.25% to 5.5%. That's the highest level in more than 22 years at the turn of the century. As I mentioned earlier with credit card debt, according to Chris Fed, TD Bank's head of credit cards, consumers are undoubtedly continuing to feel the impact of inflation and rising interest rates. Lower income workers have been hit the hardest by higher prices. This is obvious. When there is inflation, the prices of things go up. Lower income workers and those on a fixed income are those who get punished the most. Now it says that 78% of consumers earning less than $50,000 a year and 65% of those earning between $50,000 and $100,000 are living paycheck to paycheck as of July. And get this, those earning $100,000 or more, only 44%, roughly half of people in the U.S. making six figures are also living paycheck to paycheck. And lastly here, according to CNBC Money Financial Survey, 70% of Americans admit to feeling stressed about finances. Don't blame them at all. And in the event of an emergency, only 45% of adults said that they have an emergency. Doesn't specify how much. However, for 26% of those people who are polled, they have less than $5,000 saved. If I just read this article on the economy today, I would argue that the economy is not looking very good. You tell me what you think in the comment section below. More to come here as the news continues to come through. Just a quick reminder, if you are investing in the market, in the economy, September generally is a rough month. No promises what will happen, but statistically speaking, September is a rough one. Best of luck out there. Keep learning, stay informed, stay interested, and we'll see you next time.